Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Friday, March 15th, 2024. Good morning, happy Frigga's Day, hail Frigga the All Mother, and hail Freya the Beloved, whichever goddess you tend to favor on this particular day. Today's astrology has the sun in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing compassion. The moon is in first quarter Gemini, a mutable air sign representing adaptability. Mercury is in Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing alertness. Venus is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing compassion. Mars is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing staid energy. Jupiter is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign, which is practicality. Saturn is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, a mutable water sign, which is imaginative. And Pluto is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing reformation. Our moon phase, of course, is again a couple more nags on this first quarter waxing crescent. Have you set your intentions? Have you done anything about those intentions? Remember, to bring things about, it requires both magical and mundane effort. That's the way you set yourself up for success. So don't do the one and then neglect the other. Now, with the Gemini moon, remember to be social, communicate freely, and network with people, particularly professionally. Avoid unventilated spaces, avoid distractions, and avoid people who communicate at a snail's pace. Now, this is the day of Venus, and that Venusian energy causes matters of the heart to rise up to the surface, and it encourages us to nurture our loved ones. Now that Venus is in Pisces, we might tend to romanticize a bit more, and that can be very helpful if we are appreciating the good, or it could be detrimental if we are blinding ourselves to the bad. So, if there are any doubts, perhaps taking a step back, trying to see things more objectively, and realizing what it is actually called upon. Do we just need to appreciate what we have more, or are there actual issues that, probably is time to address? Just be aware. Now, our tarot card for the day is the Two of Wands. In this deck, the number 2 represents a unique action. The Suit of Wands is the fire element, projective energy, and drive. And the keywords for this card are seizing opportunity, wielding authority, and taking a unique approach. Interesting possibilities that we have here. It's almost as if someone has taken those two staffs in both hands, and they're ready to go after whatever they're doing with both of those staffs at the same time in coordination. So be in charge of your own destiny. That is the main thing that I get from this card today. And if if it is for you to be in charge, then do so without apology, without doubt, without being wishy-washy, or what do you think we should do? It might seem polite on the surface, and there's been many times where I went that route instead of simply saying, okay, because I'm in charge of X, Y, and Z, I have decided X, Y, and Z, and that's just what we're going to be doing, and setting a clear direction and providing leadership. When you go the other way, when you're wishy-washy and you're too busy consulting to actually just make a decision, it's very counterproductive. So if it is for you to take on that leadership role, then by all means lead today. Don't make people feel like they need to take on that responsibility for you. And of course, if it requires an innovative approach in order to solve a problem or complete a project, this is the day to do that approach. Our triad for today reads 3 things which the careful will gain: respect, plenty, and contentment. So, if we are careful, we will have that respect. If we are not acting rashly, people are more likely to deem us reliable and trustworthy. It's the emotional loose cannons that tends to have people backing away slowly. And as a solar Leo and a lunar Scorpio and an ascendant Capricorn, I know a little something about inspiring people to back away slowly because of the intensity that I can exude at times. So if you are a little bit more tempered, that is something that can absolutely be rewarded. And there is something to be said for cultivating stoicism. And again, depending upon your disposition, people will have varying degrees of success with that. Just do what you can, and it will result in you having greater respect. Plenty. resources that will provide for long-term abundance. And when there are lean times, you have something set aside to help sustain you through those lean times. It's a kind of saving, whether people are trying to save money or they are trying to make sure that they have saved enough canned goods so that if there was a disruption in supply lines or anything else, that the household would still be taken care of and provided for. And then contentment. Sometimes contentment is very closely linked with the idea of exhibiting caution. Caution can prevent a lot of self destructive behaviors. When you are cautious, you're stepping back and you're thinking about what you're doing. And the thing about contentment, this is such an underrated concept. People are so busy trying to get the ultimate happiness, the ultimate toy, the ultimate everything, these extremes, the magnificent, the pinnacle of the mountain, that they never really, look around and say, I have things pretty good actually. Look at the nice stuff I have. Look at the good relationships I have. Before, and that's the other thing, that people are just so busy trying to push change of every description. Well, before something needs to be changed, does anyone want to address the question: is there anything wrong with the shape of which something was in? Maybe things didn't need to be changed. Maybe we should reserve our desires for change for things that actually require alteration. And because, striving for change, that can really mean of, I don't know how to be content, or it means I'm bored, or it means I don't know what to do with my life. I have no purpose. But if I strive for change, it'll look like I'm doing something. And won't I be virtuous? And won't people admire me? No, not so much, particularly not in this day and age. I think people's taste and tolerance for activism for its own sake is it has run its course in many quarters of society with good reason. And and again, I mean, the constant desire to shake things up, that is a striving for utopia, a striving for perfection. And these are roads to frustration and madness and complete unhappiness. Whereas if you can appreciate the good that already exists and see that this really does have a lot of value, not only will you be less inclined to burn everything to the ground, but you'll be a happier and more contented person. That'll be part of the reward. It'll be, you are able to enjoy what you've got, even if it doesn't represent everything you would like to have. That has value too. So today's intention is magic, just generally. The color is purple. Purple is a very magical color. It's that combination of water and fire and red and blue, and it creates this reaction. It's very exciting. So if you're doing anything having to do with magic or cultivating your magical abilities, drawing upon the color purple, absolutely the way to go. The plant is the peony. And it also relates not only to magic, but finding that which is hidden. And sometimes it is us searching for our own hidden talents, or perhaps it's searching for something that we feel like we've lost but haven't really, or something we don't understand yet. It's a good handy dandy little plant. Most of us probably have to wait a little while before the peonies return to the landscape, but just jot it down in your notebook. Remember that it's there for use. The animal is the cat, because I can't think of a more magical animal than cats. Cats are wonderful. Cats are perfect and beautiful, and I love them. And didn't I find a cute one to share with us today? And then for the crystal, I chose amethyst. Amethyst crystals has a wide range of capabilities, and it has this really beautiful ability that when you're using it, if you're meditating with it, it'll help hone and enhance your psychic abilities to take you further within. That makes it so valuable for pathworking meditations when you're trying to encounter, whether it's a deity or an ancestor or a land spirit or whatever you're trying to contact. I found it very helpful with that. But also, the energy of amethyst can be turned outwards as well. So if you're wanting to project something into your environment, if you're wanting to infuse something with intention, the amethyst can help, again, enhance your capability of doing that. And I want to emphasize this one last thing. You can never, if you are a practitioner of the craft, you can never truly lose your power. Your power is innate. It's always there within you. But from time to time, it may be necessary for you to learn to see it again, or you may need to be doing a massive cleanup of your energy system. There's a reason why I keep nagging on about this idea about doing frequent cleansings, as frequently as we bathe, particularly if you are a witch or a wizard, because you are constantly interacting with creative and forces of the universe on a more intimate and deeper level than the average person. You are constantly coming into contact with other people's junk and their emotions and in their energies that, they probably aren't doing as frequent cleansing. So you're getting a lot of toxins. And the only way to keep yourself sane, let alone functional as a practitioner, is to make sure that you are cleansing and you're not having a bunch of crap in your own energy. So this is why I have nagged and will continue to do so. Now, for our pagan practice today, it's the 15th, which means it's time for a New Year's resolution checkup. I am absolutely going to be continuing this throughout the entire year. It's so happening. Just for once, I want us all to try to meet our goals. And the only way to do that is by constantly checking in. What progress have you made? And again, if you fell off the wagon with your goals, just begin again. Keep moving forward. And then I pose the question of, what do you love enough to grow from scratch? Now, this could be a person, it could be a flower bed, it could be a project, it could be a novel that you're writing. But what do you love enough to actually begin at the very beginning and take all the steps needed to help nurture that growth along until it becomes something? That'll be pretty revealing of people's priorities. Today's a good day to tidy and beautify your altar. And I really think that we need to enhance our appreciation of beauty for beauty's sake. There's no reason why things have to be plain or dull or beige. I say this with a beige wall behind me. I'm where I'm living. I'm not allowed to paint. Otherwise, that would be pretty much any color other than beige. After we leave this house, I hope to never live with another beige wall ever again. I have such antipathy towards that hideous lack of color. But I'm so sick of us being told that we cannot have things that are beautiful. And the excuse is, oh, it's too expensive or it doesn't matter, or this. Yes, it does. If you take the time and effort to invest in beauty, then that means that you think you are worth it. You think the people around you are worth it. It's saying that life on earth is of sufficient importance that we want to make it as beautiful as possible. I'm tired of buildings that have such contempt for the human spirit and for human aesthetics. On a lighter note, if weather is permitting, you might grill for dinner. There's something very primal about grilling or cooking over a fire, and especially if you're wanting to put a little bit of charge into your romantic life, having that flame cook your food, that could help get other flames going as well. And on that note, are you taking care of the romantic needs of your partner in life? Day-to-day life can blind us almost to our spouses. So if we are looking after them and if we are thinking about what do they consider to be romantic, what is nurturing for them on a romantic level, that might help them be in a better position to reciprocate for us, because they say, oh, yes, we are still actually in love. We're not just two people who are in this same house and, raising children together and wrangling animals and all this other stuff. You need time to continue to nurture that romantic bond, because without that romantic bond, all the things that you have, that house with the kids and the pets and this whole life you've been building up together, none of that would have happened. So don't discount the importance of romance, no matter how long you've been together. So I have a pretty steps that are leading us away with lots of pretty purple flowers on either side. Hope you enjoy that. And for today's journal prompt, I want you to write about what is your love story. And yes, you can write about this even if you aren't currently partnered with anyone, because all the steps that have taken you to get to where you are, you are bound to have had some romantic encounters somewhere along the way. That is all part of your story, even if it is not your ultimate destination. So see what you come up with. And then what do you want the next chapter to be? That's also something that you could do well to journal about. And I think that's where we will leave it today. Hope you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts with me in the comments below, or email me at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a tremendous Friday. Bye-bye.